That was very quick. What's up, Ace? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Goodson? How you doing, brother?
Man, not too bad. Look like it's just gonna be us today. Oh, wait. Do we have somebody beautiful and shining in the background back there?
I'm saying, what you got behind that curtain?
Take a look back there. Let's see if we got anybody back there. All right, behind curtain number one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome her back once again. We have Shauna Sams. What's up, Shauna? How you doing?
Hey, I think I'm having difficulties over here. Can y'all hear me?
That's how she doing.
That's fine.
We hear you. We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Oh, don't look like she can hear us. We'll bring her back in here in just a little bit.
That's called to come and go.
She came and she went. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we got a very interesting show. It's just going to be us three. If Shauna can get us stuff together, it's going to be me and Ace. I'm your host, Anthony Goodson, alongside Adrian, the Ace Stinson. You are watching Rebrand Us. We got a very, what I consider, interesting show tonight.
Interesting. And y'all make sure y'all share this, by the way.
And I played this in the intro. I'm going to play it one more time. What if? So we got a whole lot of what if questions that we're going to be asking throughout the night. Y'all have any? Feel free to share. What is your what if? And this is what ifs in the Black community. All right. So there's so many things that I think about. Like if we could get this one situation right, what if we could get this one thing together? How different would the world be? That's really what it is. It's a very simple thing. Very simple task, very simple topic. So please join in, have fun, tell us what you think. Hey, real quick before we jump into it, make sure you all press the share button. We're gonna give y'all 15 seconds. Push the share button. Ace, have you already shared it?
I shared it, and I think I'm gonna reach over here and share it again.
You know what? That's very good. Let me go ahead and share it myself. Share, done. See, it was just that simple. That was 15 seconds. So we're gonna bring in our special guest, Shauna Sams. How you doing, Shauna?
Wonderful. My apologies.
Oh, no worries.
That's all right.
No worries. We so
good.
glad to have you on. We're doing good now.
That's good. That's good. You guys looking good?
Well, thank you very much.
So it's as you, same as you.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Got your hair pulled over to the side. We always like that. All right, so tonight we're talking what if. What if? So the first one we're gonna start off. What if Black people? I'm gonna start off with the hardest one first, and then we'll just roll throughout the night. What if Black people actually did unite?
Ooh, man. Hey, look.
How does that look, Shauna? If Black people
What was that question again?
What if Black people actually united? What does that look like for the rest of the world?
A threat, if you ask me.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like, we can really make some changes as the world's supposed to be.
All right. What's up, Kayleen?
If we were the calling children, the chosen children, there's a reason why they're trying to eliminate us and keep us apart and divided. So I feel like we probably will be a threat. That's why they don't want us to be united. It was ingrained in our blood since we came out of our mother's womb to be against each other, our own brothers and sisters.
I think that if that were to happen, if Black people were to unite, the country itself would look different. I mean, it would eliminate a lot of negativity, because unity is about respect. Unity is about honor. Unity is about, okay, I see what you're doing. I appreciate that. Let me either do more or let me join in hand with what you're doing. And I think when that happens, we look different. Of course, this is the one thing about us here in America. It's like we, as Africans, we would get the best of that world as well as the best of the American world. We would be able to pull some things together. I don't really think the natural British or regular Americans would be able to do. We got a whole different insight on how we see the world. I truly believe that if Black people were united, America would look different. The violence would be different. The jails would look different. It would be a huge benefit for Black people because, now all of a sudden we're looking business-wise. We're thinking upwards, not down, not sideways, upwards. Because once you come together, that's only one place to go where you have true unity.
Yeah.
What if?
I tell you what, on that same what if, you got to think about the financial impact. You have like entire industries that are wiped out. Think about how the prison system would be. If we actually were able to pull that off and help one another keep each other, down. The music industry would be gone. Like the rap industry would be completely broke. Once we quit talking about killing each other and selling each other this and disrespecting each other, what we left with, the rap industry would be completely broke. The higher ups, the people who, pumping that. So, it definitely would have a toll on that. So it will be a lot less platinum chains and Bentleys going around.
And that's a good point you bring up. I never really thought about it, but if you, what if black people were united? One of the changes you're gonna see is music. A huge change in music. What the words that they say, the ownerships of these music companies, the ownerships of these movie companies. You see a whole lot more Tyler Perry's out there. I almost feel like it could be a negative thing if we really were united, because all of a sudden it creates another problem over here. But if you're truly united, it don't create that problem. It works itself out. Mm-hmm. The way you see yourself. I saw something the other day. This is kind of cool. Nipsey Hussle. Did I send it to you, Ace?
Yeah, I saw that. That was deep. That was real deep.
Nipsey Hussle says, you got that hood dude, right? And what he wants to do is something happened in his neighborhood, one of the gangs or rivals or whatever came and they killed somebody or did something in their neighborhood. So what you want to do is you want to go get that guy. So what do? You drive to that neighborhood. There's a line there, he said, and you just barely cross over that line, which is not too far from where you even stay. And he said, you're going to see that square looking dude. You don't fool him. You're going to see that dude of another race, Mexican, white, whatever. It ain't him. What you're going to do is you're going to start looking for that guy that looks just like you. Dressed like you, swag
your
like
mannerism,
your talk like you. So in reality, you are killing yourself, and you're saying that it's okay. Nipsey Hussle said that. I thought that was a wonderful thing, but with unity, it's the exact opposite. Now I'm gonna go across that imaginary line, and I'm gonna lift him up. I'm gonna take him to school. I'm gonna feed him. I'm gonna give him a job. I'm gonna show him how to run his own business. To me, that's what unity says.
And I also think it'd be a lot more predators and mass shooters and predators will be deceased today as well. I'll be the first person to say it. I think George Zimmerman, he wouldn't exist anymore at this point in time if we had the black men.
Well, have we ever seen unity, Shauna? Have we ever seen unity and the results of unity? Which is going to bring me to my next question, by the way.
Well, I think we are tribal beings as being who we came from. So I think we had that structure of unity in the beginning, but somehow we lost connection to that with our own people. So what if?
What if?
What if? But it's so much of the ingrained that we've, been through. It's not like we never had it. So we had that. And, I'm going back to ancient times. And we had that unity, right? When we were tribal.
Right.
So what happened when we did have it? What became of it?
We flourished.
And if we wasn't so I guess I don't know what's the word is, envious of each other. And we really looked at it as we are living for one another in that concept, then we wouldn't be as selfish in that nature. What if we were like that? Maybe we can start building from there. Then it would be a different outlook. Our music would be different. We wouldn't be shaking our asses. We probably would be more of idolizing a woman versus sexualizing her.
Wow.
Because God pretty much created a woman as a gift to a man. So with that being said, it would be a whole different mindset. What if? The thing is, we had that unity at one point where women were protected. They weren't in the cold where they have to fend for themselves. And we kind of lost the meaning to that, to the point where a lot of us are acting out of our femininity, or if I'm pronouncing it right, femininity.
I know where I can't get it either.
This is tongue twister, yeah.
Yeah, we are all in our masculine energy because we have to provide for ourselves. In most cases, the broken home because of the what if was broken. We have to provide for children. And sometimes, in some cases, you have to provide for the man and the children. So what if we went back to the basic concept of what we had back in the day of ancient times, of taking care of the main, when I say the main gift, and women are a gift to a man, you protect your gift, right? If God wants to give you a gift, you protect it, right?
Absolutely.
And once you put that mindset in it, and I'm not saying there's no bad apples anywhere, there's bad apples everywhere, but we have to start somewhere with an example, right? So when you start with that example, everybody want to be, goals. So if we really stand in our goals of being in that what if mindset, we could really move some things.
Well, I'm glad you said that. So today we're talking what ifs. Ladies and gentlemen, please tell us what your what ifs are. What if this happened in the Black community? What would be the outcome? Give us some so we can talk about it. The first one we asked was, what if Black people were united? And okay, so I like what you just said there, Shauna. Let me go ahead and extend that out a little bit. Rosa Parks. That's a good what if. Black people were united on the bus situation. And it could have been more. It could have been bigger because there were actually Black-owned bus companies. They never talk about that much, but there were. But what if Rosa Parks got out of her seat? What if she would have gotten up? How far back would that have set us? Let's think about that. Now, I mean, we know that at that time, Rosa Parks did what she did. Black people came together. Black people made a difference financially in the bus system. We walked, we struggled, we hustled, we rode cars together, we walked together, we did all these things together, and we saw impact happen. I can't think of another moment where we united like that and made that kind of a difference. I mean, we've made difference by coming together with George Floyd, I guess, and other situations. But what if we were united like that?
We ain't been united like that since the first time we've been united like that since then was the UGK MJG versus. That's it.
That was this weekend, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
All right, let me take it up a notch. Let me take it to a different level. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking what ifs here on Rebrand. Tell us your what ifs. All right, so what if we didn't have social media? What if we didn't have social media right now? I mean, of course, we know what that would look like. 20 years ago, we didn't have it.
I think the world would be a much better place because a lot of the negative events not all of them, but a lot of the negative events that we've experienced that happen, I think you take social media out of the picture and they don't happen. You don't get them.
I think, social media, I don't really have a strong opinion about social media because quite honestly, my perspective of it is good. I love it. I appreciate it. I enjoy it. So it's not really a negative thing for me, but and then I see some of the positive things like Instagram models and Instagram comedians and all that stuff. They're not models like we used to and comedians like we used to, but it's giving opportunity to people who normally didn't have that opportunity. Yeah. They're opening stuff up. Now, we had Instagram serial killers and all these things. That'd be different. But this is a positive thing. Somebody can make me laugh in 10 seconds and they can get paid from it. Hey, we're all chasing that. That's what we're doing right here.
You got the entrepreneurs. I mean, hey, look how many mouths are getting fed due to OnlyFans. They out there, taking opportunity. Hey, look, it's all social media now. You got to take it all together.
Except, Shauna, what's your comment on what he just said?
I mean, no judgment here. Listen, there's a community. Should be community for everybody because not everybody gonna fit into a box. You get if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If that's the person, that's how they, use social media and it works out for their benefit and is not hurting nobody. Who am I to judge?
Yeah.
But if it's on the other side where this other person is using it for more of like building or, teaching or something positive, that's more praises to it just as much,
Absolutely, yeah. All right, so we're talking what ifs. We're gonna Ace hold that for just a quick second. We're gonna go to a real quick commercial in just a bit. We're gonna come back. I have another what ifs for you. So hey, I'm gonna go to a comment real quick. There's somebody for everybody for sure. What's up, Helen? How you doing?
Let's go, Helen. What's up, yeah?
That's our girl, Helen, right there. All right, so we're talking what ifs. When we come back, I want y'all to give me your comment. Tell me what you think. What if MLK would have lived? What if MLK would have lived? Think about that for a second. See y'all in about 15 seconds.
Congratulations on 100 episodes. I pray that you guys continue to rebrand the culture that is us.
I gotta be honest with you. I didn't have any more commercials potted up. I'm sorry. I thought I had them all potted up. Well, thank you for that, Kayleen.
Let's go.
100 episodes we celebrated last week. No more commercials potted up, so we'll just get right back on into it. Before we went to the break, Helen, what's up? Send us your note. Tell us what you think. But what if MLK would have lived? What if he was still living today? Of course, he'd be about 100 years old. But if he'd have made impact all the way through 2022, what if MLK was still living? How different would it be?
Oh, I thought you were asking her for. Oh, if he, you know what? Honestly, now I think we almost discussed it, but we said we were gonna wait for the show because I personally think the '90s would have killed him anyway. It would have just destroyed his spirit. I think if he would have lived, I think he would have still been a factor for a certain time. But I think after that crack epidemic hit, even him, as great of a man as he was with our people, I just don't think that crack. I don't think it would have changed anything after that epidemic hit and what we went through in the late '80s and the '90s.
Helen says, if MLK lived, she said, woo, some laws would be in place, I think, but it is sad to say I'm not sure a whole lot. Well, you know what? Going off what you and Helen just said, I think the idea is, since he's such a big figure, then apparently he made an impact already. And if he made an impact like we're saying he did, then he would have continued that on, especially throughout, because he was a young man when he got killed in 1968. He was 39 years old.
Yeah.
So that impact would have kept on at least through the 70s, right? Maybe even through the 80s, because he was giving his life even though he wasn't dying, until he died, of course. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the crack epidemic never would have happened. I feel like the 90s never would have happened. Quite honestly, rap music would have been quite differently if it would have happened. I think MLK, the idea of him, who we say, would have changed all that.
So you saying he would have took the future away from Future? Y'all catch that later.
I think he made an impact because he died. That's a brilliant comment. Like him getting assassinated made the message really hit home. Brilliant comment. Brilliant. That's why we have you on here so often.
But you know, I don't know. Just like as far as change stuff like that. And maybe. Maybe he would have had some impact as far as being heard just because him being a figure. But just looking at the way times are now, I'm hoping if he would have lived, it wouldn't have went like that. But by now, it would have been like 50 women from Alabama saying that he touched them the wrong way, and they would have.
I think, and I'm gonna skip over Helen's comment because it was so brilliant for just a moment. I think the idea is his impact that he was making. He was working hard. They said when he died, he had the heart of a 60-year-old. So with that hard work, assuming he lived to today, making an impact, because I believe there was some level of unity. Anybody over the age of 65, please, correct me if I'm wrong on that. And so that's the image that I have of Martin Luther King, the impact his life would have made going forward. Now, getting back to Helen's point, just like Tupac, just like George Floyd, just like all these other people, even Jesus, I guess, death is what brings the change. So I think that it's
sacrifice. It shows sacrifice.
It takes a human sacrifice to bring about any kind of change. Let's go back to the comments real quick. The government wants us to fail, y'all. It was not about to let MLK really impact for too long. And I can agree with that. What if? We're talking what ifs today, y'all.
So
I think that's a huge comment.
That's kind of crazy. I just had a thought just popped up in my head with that comment she just made, Helen just made. That was a brilliant comment. What if the government wasn't after us like that? And, that kind of goes back to us being the chosen people. We are, I hate to bring up the negative part of it, that's just the
that's what it's about. It's about the what if, you know what I'm saying? And that is what if. I think things would be a lot changing. But I think like for what you just said, I think what is kind of crazy because it's like if things were kind of different, the government wanted this and that. Will we have that sense of pride? Would it be that will we have that, or it just kind of be this? We be frolicking, you know, la. Life is so good.
I don't think it's a would we have that. Would we have had that? We don't have it now. Is that pride really there? I almost feel like black people are living off the legacy of older black people. I don't feel like we have the pride and all those things anymore.
Oh, well, yeah.
The more money we make, now we're moving all out to these different cities and different suburbs and all these things, and driving different cars and becoming independent people. So we're separating ourselves from black people. Which goes back to our original question. What if we have black unity? See, black unity don't look the same today as it did 20 years ago. Go to the comments. Thank you for these comments, Helen. She says, what if hashtag? She said that's not a hashtag.
That's asterisk.
That's crazy. What if the government wasn't out to get us? We would be thriving. I fully agree with that part.
Yeah, and we would be,
because we had Black Wall Street. We were united. You know, it's just hard to think past that whole crack epidemic because I wasn't born prior to the crack epidemic, so I wouldn't know the thrive that black folks had, owning their own houses in their own communities where there wasn't breaking. Everybody was united as a whole unit in the neighborhood. I don't know that. I just know what I know growing up in the 80s. So to me, it's like it's hard to think about what if. So now we are more thinking of survival mode, because remember we had Black Wall Street already before.
Yeah.
So that fear, it kind of keep us in that mindset of what if we do build another Black Wall Street, what would happen?
Hopefully we will learn from our past, and this Black Wall Street would have protection.
But we can't say too much like this. We can't be stupid mind thinking, because we had that mind thinking we gotta flash everything. We can't flash everything. It will be what they say, televised, the revolution.
The revolution.
You say it would be televised.
What they say is gonna be televised? What they say it's gonna be? It won't be televised. Whatever is gonna be happening in real life. So we can't be saying what we're gonna doing or want to be doing. That part, Helen. That part. It's the mindset. Remember, I told you earlier. You got to find people who with the same mind thinking, because what you thinking, I'm already thinking, and he already thinking. We already thinking this already. So we move in that.
Which brings us back to the original topic: unity. Mm-hmm. You can only move in silence if you move at the same time. Everybody moving all willy-nilly is loud.
That part.
You have to move at the same time.
Goes all the way back to slavery. Goes all the way back to slavery. They
ain't said nothing but a word.
You look at the people. Nat Turner, he got found out because somebody ran back and told. Harriet Tubman used to have to threaten people with
hating, man, because we were taught to hate each other.
So
and not build each other. We were taught to hate. That's we got to get out of that mindset. We got to see, you can't go feed the ops like that, man. Because you see what they do to you. What once you hand over what they want, they're gonna eliminate you and what you handed over. Just like what happened with Jesus. That man had to go hang himself. You know what I'm saying? Because he couldn't live with the thought what he did. You giving your own people in Africa right now. Right now, they got, I bet the tribe they call them. I wish we got some African kings and queens that can come in and tell me, because they were telling me their history or our history that we don't even know. Our own people want us back.
They think
that. They want you to think that. They want you to think that. Just like they want you to think about how ugly it is with them babies, with them flies flying around them. They want you to think that it's all about, man, Africa's one of the richest continents. They don't need nobody. You got all the resources on there.
I just have a certain feeling about Africa, because they never came to get us. They never fought for us. They never came to rescue. And I can't blame them.
How they were scared. They seen this thing, the true religion that reside in Africa. They've been seeing aliens. They've been seeing all this kind of. They know about the fallen angels. They know about all of that. When they see Indian call devils with the white devils with the blue eyes, for a reason. These are natives who knew the history of their culture. There's a reason why. I be telling people, they don't be listening. I be telling people, the only race, we're the only species that enslaves each other. Even though we are aware of our existence, granted, that means we are aware of someone else's existence, but we are the only one that enslaves each other. So we are aware of what is going on with our surroundings. When the people, they call them, is for, and it goes back to ancient history about the fallen angels. And nobody don't have that taught to us. It was never like that. It was taught to us to the point where our kings was getting raped, killed, children, beaten, eaten, whatever you want to call it. Read it. It's all in there. So this is like, it's true. It's a spiritual warfare. But that what if concept, yo, it's like that dream, yo. It's that dream, because we know how we're going to be bombed. For real, it's that dream. But how do we get to that what if point to make it reality?
Says, and Helen, by the way, I sent you just in case you wanted to come on. It'd be fire to have what you're on. If the government was with us, the unity would be wild. The wealth of America, and I mean America, would be abundant and would be real, and not this catfish we doing, faking like we got it. That's true. You know, there's an opportunity. I don't know. It's like I want my kids to do better, and I always put everything in my kids. And I'm not really going to sabotage for everybody else's kids, but I'm gonna give my kids the extra leg up. And I almost feel like that's how America is with black people. What if they said, "Hey, look, we can all win. Does it matter what color you are? All this other stuff. I'm not gonna get into the gay and all that stuff, but does it really matter what color you are if the country itself is fully winning?" Okay. Anyway, let's move on just a little bit. Hey, look, sports. It seems like if America's black people are going to make it in this country, it seems like sports has got to be the way. That was the first way. In fact, in the 60s, the civil rights, we saw Muhammad Ali, we saw Lou Alcindor, we saw Jim Brown. The list Lou Alcindor, by the way, is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, I'm saying, man, call that man by his new name.
But he was Lou Alcindor at the time. We've seen all these people, be the leaders of the black community. And oftentimes people say, why is it our athletes and our celebrities? How come it's not our scientists and our doctors and our leaders that are the black people, like the Martin Luther Kings? What if sports was not our focus? What if we had a different focus?
Yeah, I think it'd be beautiful if we supported, what if we had like a sold out stadium, 80,000 people to come see a 27-year-old finish medical school, and what they do, get the white coats or whatever, just like how you see on the internet, it'd be a black class of like 30 people finish medical school together at some school, and it didn't get much publicity. What if we fill the stadium up to see them take their final exams? Or what if we fill that 80,000 seat stadium up to see them graduate and excel? Or what if you got recruited to be an attorney? All the kids going to law school. What if they had to draft for that and everybody came in? And we got behind that. How much further will we be if we put emphasis on that?
I think leadership would be completely different. If all of a sudden I've realized, just think about this. If we took away focus, of sports, because there's no kid. You don't see kids out just running all the time just so they can get better in sports and all these things. And by the way, this is Shauna Sams. Helen, you can go to my Facebook and find her, and I can send you the information. But if we saw kids saying, okay, they had 80,000 people watching him take that exam, I'm gonna read my book because I want some people watching me. I'm gonna write my book because I want people watching me. I'm gonna put forth an extra a level of effort, whatever, in my brain, because I want people to see me. If we really truly reached out to see, to people who were using their brain as opposed to people using their physical body, just the world would change. What if that actually happened, Shauna? What kind of strength? This thing, they're sending people to the moon. Black people came up with brain surgery, heart surgery, and all these different things. The air conditioning, and ink pens, and chairs that we're sitting in. These are black people. Just imagine if all of a sudden we say, you know what, screw football, screw the NFL. We're not gonna make them rich. What we're gonna do is we're gonna create our businesses in our own community, and we're gonna make our young people think harder. by reading and figuring out how this is this, and they're going to take it a step further. See, the brain is the most powerful thing that we have in this country. The brain is the most dangerous thing we have in this country. Because how many times have we seen people create cars that run off water, and they decide they want to kill that person?
Yeah.
That's because the brain has thought of something different. And it's probably not even that difficult. That's a whole different subject. Hey, look, we're going to take a real quick break, y'all. This is a lot of fun. What ifs is what we're talking about right here on Rebranded. We got Shauna Sams. You know what? We could take another guest. If somebody wants to come on, let us know. We'll bring you on. We're going to talk a little bit more about this here in just a second. I forgot. That's all I had. I did it again.
That's the second.
I forgot. I thought I had more.
And I know he inviting people on the show, but listen, don't come on the show dumb. If you got something to say, that's fine. But don't come on the.
Hey, I got a real
I didn't
quick
say it. I didn't say that. I have no judgment upon people who are stagnant.
We just celebrated 100 shows. Thank you all for being on that show. Hey, look, there's several people watching us, YouTube, Facebook, all the other places. Press that share button. Press the share button. We're going to give you a second. While you're pressing that share button, we just enjoyed 100 shows. Let's take a look.
Hi, Rebranders friends. Happy 100th video. It's amazing.
Okay, maybe not. It's not working. All right, so forget that. Hey, look, let's go to the comments real quick. Let's see if that works. Am I frozen?
Nah, you're not frozen.
Okay, maybe my computer's frozen, so we'll have to come back. All right, what ifs? We're talking what ifs. What if sports was not a focus? Originally, we started off by saying, what if black people were united? All right, let's skip down a little bit. All right, what if black people actually experienced the privilege of white privilege that white people experience?
Oh, man.
We'll be feeling ourselves.
Yeah, it'd be a whole different sense of
It'd be a good positive thing though.
yeah, it'd be a freedom type thing. You can actually stand up for yourself. Like you could actually stand up for your rights, and you be right. You stand up for your rights. You know, like it's like now you have to make that explicit and say like I can stand up for my rights, get shot or get severely beat, or I can be violated and live and be unharmed.
My main man, Hershon Lewis, he says to reach one, teach one. Education is the one thing they can't take away from us. Absolutely love it. And he's, of course, talking about that comment about the sports back a moment ago. What if sports was not our focus? I love that comment. I appreciate it, Hershon. Hey, thanks for watching, by the way. Didn't even know that you listen. To make a comment back on him, if we reach one, we teach one. If we do that with our family, we continue to hand down education. That's what we need to do. All right. So, getting back to this experience privilege, I think that are we starting to see that a little bit now?
Hell no.
I mean, not necessarily privilege with the police, and maybe not 50 to 75% of the privilege that white people actually experience. Are we starting to see our own privilege? Like our kids aren't working like we did at 16.
That's just because of more opportunities. Technology has made it to where they have different avenues to make money. But as far as privilege, nah, it's still not. It's still not the same at all. Now we may be watching some of our more rich, some of our more famous people experience some type of privilege, but overall, not at all.
Well, I think your more famous people they have to be extremely famous in order to experience privilege. Michael Jordan type fame. All right, so let's look at America as a whole. Right now, America is about 15% black, probably about the same amount, if not more, Mexican, 50% white for sure. A couple Asians. These are our numbers. Okay. Black people, like we stated earlier, Shauna, has created the stoplight, ink pens, chairs. We're soaring in sports. We kill that game. But just imagine an America that had no black people. We're talking what ifs. What if America had no black people? What would this
I'll move in.
Hold on, come again. What was that question? Rewind. What happened? What'd you say? What was that question?
What if America had no black people? What
and you said you'll move in?
No, just
you said you move. What you said?
Just joking.
You'll be flavorless. No season, bland,
no Tony seasoning
dry,
at all, huh?
nothing. Just I could just no offense to no other, just that we make it. We just bomb. Sorry, we are. It was from Family Party. What is things? I thought, but it was real ground. But
we have. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. Looked like we were experiencing technical difficulties. But I think we got it together now. What if America had no black people? What does that look like? You were saying, Shauna.
Do the inventions go with us?
Everything has to go.
Everything.
There's no Michael Jackson.
We magic. And just to emphasize what you guys were saying about the inventions and the whole concept of the education part, we got to remember, unfortunately, a lot of the poverty areas where it's a lot of our people in, they don't supply books, they don't supply education, computers, things for our youth that they will need, compared to what our children are probably privileged to, as far as what the average person of our color or that's not of I don't even want to call it different races, but an ethnic, so you got to look at the concept of what their environment is. They're not in that environment where they are able to get a hold of a computer or a library so easy versus a different neighborhood where they're able to get, the education of going to school where they can even get that whole concept of, school. They said something about papers. Yeah, the whole concept of, getting that advanced education that's needed, So what if our kids were educated like the privileged? I think there would be more inventors, doctors, attorneys, instead of looking at a way to get out of the hood through sports. That wouldn't be a concept of ours, because it would have been a privilege if you worked underprivileged. So being underprivileged, everything that's higher than what you are is always a privilege to you.
Yes.
But what my children have to go through, they don't have to go through the underprivilege of things. And that's a blessing, because I want them to understand they could be anything they can be. But unfortunately, only a percentage get out the hood knowing that. While the rest that's in their environment, they stuck like the other sheeps, because their generation is like a generational curse. So what if, again,
Yeah. I think how far we say so America without black people, how far along do you think the country would be, technology wise, and things of that sort? I mean, how far along?
Wakanda, baby, Wakanda.
That's a good question. If America had no black people, we're talking what ifs, y'all. Get in on this. Hayes asked the question: how far along would America be?
Because you got to think. Well, let's take all the the hundreds of years of slavery. Well, that's forced labor. So slave had to build, grow, till. So let's think about that. When it's not forced labor and it's just something you kind of got to do. How much? How many buildings will we have? How many? Would there be a White House, or would they just be like, and the president stays in that neighborhood?
It's a great question, because I look back at what happened with the ancient civilizations, with the pyramids and all that stuff. That's great. The pyramids are. However, the technology never was nowhere near. I mean, it didn't move fast enough. So I think America will be the same way. I mean, when you think about Eli Whitney and the cotton gin, Eli Whitney was a white guy, and the cotton gin was invented by some slave in his field. He just got all the credit for it. So I think the slaves, the people who were working, who were thinking of a way to make things easier and faster, those are the people who truly are the inventors of America. They would have never happened. There were no slaves, there were no black people in America. So they're all, if there's no black people in America, I think we see that's a great point that you make, Ace, going all the way back to slavery, because I mean, I'm thinking only since slavery, probably. But going back to slavery, there's a lot of inventions that were done by slaves that no longer would exist. And in fact, we probably would, because America leads the way, we probably will still be in, 1700 with 1700 technology.
That's what I was thinking. Like, how far along will we be? Because you got, like I said, you got to think. America was built off free labor. Whether you want to admit that or not, whether you're comfortable with that or not, America was built on free labor. It is what it is.
That's a thought.
I think if we ran it, I think if we was the one that was ahead, if it was flipped and we were the privileged one and everybody was beneath us, because we are kind of at the totem pole. But if we were on top, I think this whole world, the technology would be so advanced. That's just my opinion.
Let me play my phone went off of rebranding. Hold on. Let me play the devil's advocate real quick. And this might sound crazy, but think about this. Would we be as far along as we were if it wasn't for slavery? Like, did slavery give us that push? Did it give us that hunger to want to be better? Did it give us that, that we gotta do this to change our situation?
Well,
so
it's funny, but good question, because you look at the Hebrew slaves, and I don't know what technology looked like before they became slaves versus when they ended that slavery. But when you look at the African slaves in America, technology was the same as when the Hebrew slaves started. And now we have the internet. So I think it sparked so much that it allowed Black people to flourish to a certain degree, and it allowed the rest of the world to flourish to a certain degree.
And don't send me no hate mail, y'all. That was playing devil's advocate. I'm just looking at the other side of the thing.
I think,
was it a necessary evil?
What I do think is, if you eliminate Black people, I think the course would have changed. A teacher told me one time that, if you're going to hire somebody, always hire the lazy guy. Because the lazy guy is going to find the quick way to do something and the easiest way to do something. It's going to get done, but he's going to find the quick, easy way. So when I think about America without slaves, I'm thinking, all right, you got a lot of people who ain't going to do nothing now. Don't get me wrong, there's probably white slaves and indentured servants and all those things. But you now find the white guy who really is going to try to find the easiest way to get through a situation without having to put the same work. And I think that we had no choice. We had to work it. So what we did is found a system that beat it, as opposed to the way that beat it, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So I think the course of America would change. Sports would be different. Food would be different. Everything would be different. And it may be on the same level that we see it now, but it would be different. It wouldn't be the same. It's a world that we can't really fathom at this moment. So, when you say all that, I think that's a great question that you asked when you're going all the way back to slavery. See, I would have just gone back to probably 1900, when sports and all this, the America that we know today would have changed.
Yeah. We got to look at it as a whole. Yeah, I mean, we existed. We existed back then too. Yeah, absolutely. That's a deep what if right there.
What ifs, ladies and gentlemen? We're talking what ifs on Rebranders. We have Shauna Sams on with us, Ace. Adrian,
that's all I see. We got a big I'm looking at the viewers. Everybody in Germany is still holding us down. I don't even know what time it is or whatever. Thank y'all so much.
Absolutely. Everybody in Oak Cliff is holding us down. I can tell you what time. It's 8:14. All right. I'm your host, Anthony Goodson. We're talking what ifs. We definitely want y'all to join in with what ifs. Hey, look at this. Very quick. I didn't want to make it too long. What ifs? If y'all have a what if, be sure to tell us what they are. There's a conversation in the what ifs. All right. I think one of the what ifs that we should talk about, and let's go over a couple of them that we've already had. I got a sheet of paper right here. Black people were united. What if Black people were united? What if Martin Luther King would have lived? That's another one. Several others, but here's another one. What if Black fathers were actually Black fathers across the board? How different would that look?
Woo.
Wouldn't go back to the era of a pre-crack?
Let's go back to
daddy's was in the house, wasn't it?
Let's go back before slavery, like Ace did. And today, 2022, what would it look like if Black fathers were all in? Now, I'm not even saying they have to be in the house, You don't have to be in a relationship. It's not about the relationship. It's about them with the woman. It's about the relationship with
The
the
responsibility.
child.
Yeah.
Exactly. What does America look like? What do we as Black people look like?
I think it'll be a lot more self-respect and a lot more pride. I think it'd be just a lot less of the negative. With that, I'm pretty sure you see less drug dealing, and I think we see more college graduates, and I think we will see less. I think we see less struggle, because a lot of the struggle you got to think about what's behind it. So I think the teenage pregnancy, the young people hooked on drugs and stuff. You still would have your mischief and stuff like that. I'm talking like these real hard probably have. You see these 13, 14-year-old kids hooked on drugs, hard drugs like heroin and things. And the Brenda got a baby effect, the 13, 14, 15-year-old babies and things like that. I think we would see a lot less of that, which would in turn come around to a lot less struggle, because it would be a lot less struggle situations.
I think what we see is encouragement. Being a father is more than what people, it's like, I have to look at this child. A mother has their role, but a father has their role too. They have to be able to give confidence and encouragement to their children, both girl and boy. And it allows them to know what they can do, what their bounds are, what their boundaries are. And I think that's what fathers, that's one of our biggest roles, is to allow our children to become the best part of what they are. It's not the nurturing part. It's, hey, go deeper than what you normally go, where you think you could go. And then when you get to that level, go a little bit deeper. When I think about a father, and Black fathers have a way of verbalizing that, a way of allowing the kids to know that, my life motto, what you see is all you see, then you don't see all that there is. So much deeper than just the shallow. So I think that's where it happens. And then we get back to the mental side of it, where sports is not the focus anymore. Now it's, I want my child, because you can only be an athlete for 10 years, 15 years maybe. And the average athlete is only playing for 4 or 5 years. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna teach my kid to be a scientist, a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever. They can do that until they're in their 60s. They can make an impact until they're in their 60s. And I believe that when Black fathers get together and they decide to become father, Ace is a good father. My dad, a great father. So we look at those. Eric, another great father.
Good thing you a hell of a father yourself, man.
Well, I appreciate it. I was waiting on somebody to say something. We look at that, and we look at the impact of what we do with those children, and that's what we see. And they don't all have to be celebrities. Celebrities is not, that's not what you thrive for. Excellence is, though. All right, let's go to the comments. What if rap music never, I'm assuming they're saying, never existed? Wow. Shauna, what if rap music never existed? Hey, who posted that?
That was your main man, Hershon Lewis.
Hershon, what's up, man? That's a great question. Shauna, rap music never existed. What happens?
I can't fathom that. It's hard, because to me, rap is like poetic, a form of way of expression, just with beats and tone. Is no different from an artist going and expressing himself on a mic and performing without the rhythm of it. So if the question in turn means gangster rap music or gangster rap or music or in general that degrades people, yeah, I can see that. But if it's rap in general, I don't see no problem with rap. I love rap.
I think if it don't exist, we lose a whole that hip hop culture. I think you never see empires built. You gotta think about it. Not even we know the rap empires, the Rockefeller, the Death Row, the Def Jam, but think about FUBU, the Carl Kanaz. Really, where would Adidas and Nike be without Real? What would Reebok be? A lot of people don't think about it, but what would Reebok be? The shoe industry, the whole culture. Basketball itself wouldn't be the same. Hip hop brought on the Fab Five with the baggy shorts. It's just so much influence that it's had on the world itself.
It's interesting because rap music, when you think about rap music, the music in itself is created by rappers. I look at the impact that Snoop Dogg has with Martha Stewart. They're seen as equals, they're seen as friends, and it's like it's a softer way to bring a person who don't look very Martin Luther King-ish to America. He don't look nothing like Martin Luther King, but he's received probably better than Martin Luther King. It's one thing I see about rap. But all the words, the verbal portion of it, the sexualization, the calling the women to certain words, and all these things, to me, that's the negative part of rap. And that's the part, probably, unfortunately, that stands out the absolute most. You eliminate that, you bring forth kids who have respect for women. Yeah. Women, unfortunately, they talk about gay people. They talk about black people. They talk about all these different people. In my opinion, women probably get the worst of all the brunt of all the issues in America. The B word is, here's the thing. The B word, Ace, might be worse than the N word. But it's accepted. And it's said about a woman, about your mother.
Unless somebody unless they call you an N-word B. Then that's where I was going. Women.
Thank you very much, Hershon. You can call me Dickie though. I appreciate it. And that's the thing. Like it degrades women. Because you know what they say. It's always the negative stuff that stands out. Yeah, so when you look at the negative stuff, that's what rap is all about. It's about negativity. Tell me something negative about a country song or R&B song or any pop song. There's nothing negative you can think about. The only music genre, and music is the universal language. Everybody loves music.
Well, that's not the whole genre, because see, what happened is the negativity is what gets to play. Because I mean, you know, think about Common and Yasin Bey and Toby. You know, all these guys. You know, even you know, I like my J. Cole and stuff like that. You know, the machine doesn't really get behind them because they just talking about partying, having a good time, uplifting, loving one another and stuff like that. So I think if rap wouldn't existed, I think we lose a whole way of communicating with each other.
Well, can I make a comment real quick? Because I guess having a conversation with someone, they kind of pointed out Black women kind of are the biggest influencers. You know, whatever we, you know, more so whatever we put out, it becomes a trend. So Black women per se are trendsetters. So when they kind of said something like that, it kind of made me think in the concept, because everyone across the board be mimicking a Black woman, right? Like down to the point how we do our mannerism, how we wear our hair, how we dress, down to how we look. So if we stop accepting across the board certain things and more so become united, a lot of the stuff that's negative probably wouldn't be such an impact, because they use music to really put on a trend for, you know, people to sway in a certain direction. And like you say, R&B don't really do stuff like that. I mean, it puts you on the trends for more of a lustful trends. Rap put you more of a kind of aggressive type of trends. Rock and roll put you more in aggressive type. You know, there's certain type of genre of music that put you in a certain type of trends, but there are also music that put you in trends to think, right? If we as people, our people come together and more so put certain type of music up and start trending them, it will start shifting, because we are listening to garbage now. I'm gonna be real with you. There's a lot of garbage that's out there. We just listen to because it's catchy and there's nothing else to listen to.
Not me. I still listen to Bobby Womack every day.
Yeah, I listen to the Bee Gees.
But yeah, you definitely, you know, that's definitely what's out there.
And I believe Black men have it worse than anyone or anything. Do y'all believe that? Y'all believe Black men have it worse than anybody?
I think a Black woman does, but a Black man, I mean, I can feel what he's saying, where he's coming from with that, but we a woman and we Black, so I don't think anything.
I think a Black man has it worse because he's not a woman. Woman kind of get you know, she get a little leeway. Black man is a man. He's still a man. Man is going to get the absolute worst that they can they give you. And then black man is going to get the worst. Like, I think a black woman has it pretty darn bad from a black man, but not from the rest of the world as much. But I do believe that y'all are trendsetters. You know, I worked at this place many years ago, Ace. It was at the post office. It was years ago. It was many years ago. And I saw this gay Asian guy. And he was acting, I was sitting there watching. I'm young, I'm like 23, 24. And he was acting like a black woman. He was a gay guy. And he only hung around with black women. So I didn't think much of it. I saw him and I realized, wait a minute. And then, you know, some time went on. I may have even mentioned this on the show a couple times. Some time went on and I saw a gay Mexican dude. I saw a gay white, I saw black, white girls and everybody. And everybody had this, when it came down to it, they were cool and they act like black women. And I realized at that moment that black women run this world. They're trendsetters of this entire world. I thought that was the coolest thing. I think that they get the brunt of all the issues. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, they are the trendsetters. That's a really cool thought when you really think about it. Hey, look, time has really kind of gotten away. I didn't really know how this show was going to actually go. Shauna, we thank you very much for being on with us tonight.
What if we had more time?
What if we had more time? We would keep on going. Shauna, you know, we're having you on the show, right?
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
We don't see you in the next month. It's
my
your
pleasure.
fault. It's not ours. All right. Hey, we're gonna come back next week. We got a hard hitter. I think Kim has something for us very special. We'll tell y'all all about that as the week goes on. What ifs is what we talked about tonight. Hey, look at this. Hey, Ace, who do we have on the show next week? Shauna, did you see yourself in that promo?
Yeah, that was a good picture. I like that picture.
Hey, let me run it back, as they say. Hey, yo, Ace, who do we have on the show next week? For those of you who didn't see it, that's Shauna. She's in there. Thank you, Shauna, for continuing to be on this show and support us.
My pleasure.
By way of your girl and my girl, your cousin, Janique, who we love so much.
That's my girl. What's up, Janique?
Right on. Hey, yo, Ace, who we have on the show next week?
Well, next week, and I have a PSA just for these people. I actually went out in the streets, did some interviews and research, and we found surviving members of the Milli Vanilli fan club. These people that are still supporting them, and they still hanging on. So with that, I'm going to make a PSA for them. Little known facts, if we're talking about black culture and music and all that. So in 1990, Milli Vanilli beat out a group of hookers at the American Players Ball. They won by a landslide for the category of best lip service.
Because you get a shot because they were
little known fact.
I feel attacked. I am a surviving Milli Vanilli fan club. I still listen to "Blame It on the Rain" to this day.
Think about it. You support them. You need to go find out who's really singing them songs. Show them brothers some love.
I was going to ask, can you really just say you supporting Milli Vanilli? Hey, look, we got a comment. Let's go to it. Enjoy, brother. It must be her, Sean. Man, we appreciate it. Come back next week.
Oh no, that was Tavares Abram.
Oh man, that's my main man. Let me tell y'all something about TC. When I was his name is TC, by the way. When I was in the 8th grade, TC, I looked at the numbers. TC bench press like 95 pounds. And I was like, 95 pounds? So I bench press like 130. The next year, TC bench press like 250 pounds. So I asked him, I said, golly, in 1 year, how did you go up almost 200 pounds or whatever? He said he looked within himself. He said he thought about it. He knew he could do better. He was so embarrassed, and it made him want more. And it's funny because even at 44 years old, I think back what TC said as a 9th grader, or he was 10th grader at that time, and it makes me work harder for some of the things that I do today. TC is a person I truly appreciate. Thank you for that comment, TC. We've got another comment that says, who keeps putting Ace on the program? It must be Kayleen. I don't know who that is. It must be Kayleen.
That's
Only person I come. It says M no one but Ace. Is that Kayleen also?
Oh no, that's my main man, Mr. Goodson. What's up?
Tony Goodson, right on. All right, hey, look, come back next week. We're going to enjoy a show with, I believe, Kim. I think Kim is going to be on. We appreciate everybody for watching. What ifs is what we talked about tonight. Shauna, always looking nice. Always appreciate it.
Always appreciate it.
Hey, don't go nowhere, Shauna. We're going to be back in just a second. All right. See y'all next week.